911. Where is your emergency?
Exit 275 on 40. These guys just shot a police officer right on the exit.
I need to ask you a few questions. Maybe you can help me get to the bottom of what happened. Can you do that for me? You two were on some kind of road trip?
My dad travels for work.
There is no money. It's all just numbers on a ledger, and when it all comes collapsing down, who do you think they expect to come around and clean up the mess?
What about school?
I'm homeschooled. He says that he wants me to be an independent thinker.
Power's in the people. Always remember that.
We found some weapons in the van you were driving. Your father has, he ever been violent?
Next time, aim more for the head. You know, they wear bulletproof vests.
It sounds to me like your dad doesn't like the government very much.
They demand that you beg. They're sick like that. You know, they're psychotic, psychopaths.
I mean, I don't want to have to kill anybody. But if they keep messing with me, then I'm afraid that's what it's going to come down to. And if I have to kill one, then I'm not going to be able to stop. I just know it.
They think they can just, you know, keep squeezing blood out of a stone. But at some point, you have to let them know that you won't be pushed any further.
This is an illegal stop.
Sir, get back in the car.
What law did I break?
Get back in the
Tell me
car
what
right
law
now.
I broke and I'll comply.
Sir?
They're sick in the head, that's all. So we just gotta play their silly-ass little games. And go in there and, kill the monster under the bed, so to speak.
Boom, there you go. That was the trailer for Sovereign, arriving in theaters as well as available to rent or own this July 11th. I'm KUYA P. This is Nerds Rule the World. Joining me to talk all things Sovereign is writer, director Christian Swegal. Swegal?
Christian Swegal. Yeah, close.
Close. I'm sorry, sir. I can brutalize names. It is an honor and pleasure. Thank you for your time. What are the vibes right now? As of this recording, it's getting ready to release to the world. How are you feeling at the moment?
I'm feeling great. Yeah, it's really exciting to get to see how people have been, you know, interacting with the movie and receiving the movie. It's my first time doing this, so you know, I had this, you know, I'm used to seeing this thing we edited for so long and wrote it, you know, and now seeing it out in the world and it's kind of taking on its own life and it's really just, it's awesome to see people connecting with it and enjoying it.
I love that for you. Definitely feel all the good vibes. Feel the vibes.
Yeah.
As a fellow creative, you know, it's important. We do all that hard work to get our projects out there. So, you know, salute to you, all the flowers. Sovereign. So this film, it actually really hit me in a different way as a filmmaker, but also someone who, before I really jumped into filmmaking, I live in the DC area. I worked for Homeland Security. I worked in an operations center where I actually, now that I'm past kind of like the statute of limitations, I used to have to talk to sovereign citizens and get information and compile information. So this was really interesting for me, having some of that knowledge and now seeing this. Where did this project come for you in writing and directing this, putting this together to develop, you know, this, you know, kind of a way to kind of show how an adult who's is enthralled with this idea, bringing up a son, being a father to this child, and him now acclimating to this cause. Where did this come for you?
Yeah, so I've always been interested in kind of fringe conspiracy theory, cults, ideologies like that, and how people get to those places. For this particular story, I had someone very close to me who became involved in, I wouldn't say the sovereign citizen movement, but like a very conspiracy, anti-government sort of a, you know, line of thinking. And it was stemming from mental illness, really. And I saw how disastrous that was for this person. And because I'm sure people have seen some of the videos of sovereign citizens online, anytime they have a run-in with law enforcement at a federal building, at a county recorder's office, it doesn't usually go well for them. They come in heavily armed with all of their stuff. They've been listening to online videos, they've been to seminars, they think they're in the right. And it very quickly, I'm sure you've had this experience in your previous line of work, like it doesn't end well for them in most cases. So I saw that happen, and I started researching the movement, and then I came across this crime, and I was really fascinated at, like, well, how does a young guy, Jacob Tremblay's character in this movie, 15 years old, homeschooled, like, when that's your entire world and you've been brought up in this isolated environment, and it's your father, it's the person you love more than anything in the world. What does a coming of age story look like in that context? And I think you see that, in the film, Jake's character is interested in going to school and doing normal things. And that kind of just a normal development can really feel like a betrayal when the person you love has this kind of set of beliefs. And so that was just it just seemed like an interesting story that talked about a lot of things I was into and spoke to a lot of themes that I think are relevant today, especially in this country.
Totally today. And I want to get to that point in a little bit, but outstanding work. I have to say, as somebody who has knowledge of that world, and then as a filmmaker, I'm like, you killed it. You just did an amazing job.
You.
Bravo. So,
Thank you.
And I gotta also commend you. And if we can talk on this for a little bit, Nick Offerman and Jacob Tremblay, again, you're a first time filmmaker and a festival of riches. Shout out to your entire crew. It takes a village. Everything looks amazing. Dennis Quaid, but again, Nick and Jacob, outstanding work. Did they have time to work together to build that relationship a little bit? It just was amazing.
Yeah, it was a very fast shoot. We were just a fully independent film. It was a very quick shoot, so we didn't have time for rehearsals. But the cast in this movie, it's funny because our cast is so incredible that you wouldn't think we were this little independent movie. We have this all-star cast and the performances are great. It's just a testament to our actors. Nick Offerman, he wasn't just the lead in the movie. He was a real leader on set. He set the tone for everyone. He's so professional. He's such a gentleman. And Jacob is young, but his body of work is incredible. I mean, so once that relationship was really formed, I felt like we had the heart of the movie was there. And then the rest of our cast really just coalesced around that. And Thomas Mann and Dennis Quaid have their own bond. Martha Plimpton shows up briefly, but is really hilarious and amazing to work with. And Nancy Travis, we really scored on our cast. They were all fantastic.
Well done. They were absolutely. I love Martha Plimpton. Nancy Travis is amazing, but it was just a delight to see these different faces. But just, I'm going to be thinking about Nick come award season as a CCA voter and all of that. Great. I've never seen him in a role like this. He's done drama, but I know him for comedy because he makes me laugh. But amazing work in this. He was just you know, and I'm sure it was he's amazing on set.
It's an amazing performance. I mean, he's an incredible actor. He's had incredible roles up to this point, but I think this is a real kind of tour de force performance for him. I mean, I hope people check out the movie, just for that alone. I think his performance is something worth seeing. And he swings between being really paternal and loving and you can feel the affection between him and Jake, and then dangerous. He goes to these really dark places and it's all kind of mixed with love, and that's really hard and uncomfortable. And he just plays those notes. Like, he has such incredible, like, emotional dexterity that he can play each of those notes and they're very clear. And that's so difficult to do and to direct. I really couldn't direct, it's all credit to Nick.
Definitely. And young Jacob Tremblay, oh my gosh, just to be such a young guy and just keep amazing work. Again, as I referenced earlier, maybe not. I'm in the Washington D.C. area, and I'm very tuned in with the government, and I don't want to get too political. But one of the things that also I think, the vibe of the world right now and the vibe in our country, I'm very curious as both, concerned citizen with the way the world is, and this film, just kind of like how we see Nick teaching young Jacob through, the course of this film and him understanding his world. What do you think when this, you're now reaching a wider audience, you've toured the festival circuit, we're now out everywhere on July 11th. What do you hope the people get from this? Because I'm curious. I think a lot of us feel Nick in this film, and they feel a certain way, but this is a whole other direction I hope people do not go.
Yeah.
What's just like the energy right now, and what do you think about the timeliness of your film arriving to the general public in this time?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, whenever you deal with a story that this is political subject matter, there's a political backdrop and a certainly there's a sort of a political tone to the subject matter of the film, but the film and sort of the filmmaking approach that we tried to lead with was very much apolitical. We tried to be sort of as objective, maybe frustratingly objective for some people, as possible, because I think sort of, for better or worse, this is I believe it's an accurate reflection of the world we're living in, or at least a segment of it right now. I mean, this crime took place 15 years ago. I think things have sort of ramped up from there. I don't think they've ramped down. And so I think instead of kind of like flatly condemning one way or the other, or making sort of a moralistic judgment on the situation, I think it was really just our goal to reflect back the world we're living in, to tell a human story within that setting. So I hope people go into it with an open mind. That's certainly not, again, condoning anything, or saying that it was, this was a horrific tragedy. But I think going into it with an open mind, we can maybe, sort of take a look at, like, well, how do things like this come about, rather than just sort of closing the door on it.
Agreed. Just superbly done, sir. And just
thank you.
I cannot wait for the conversations I'm going to have with friends and family and other fellow creatives. I just think you did an outstanding job. I have to ask you, since we still have a little bit of time, I think, was there anything as a writer, did everything make the cut? Was there anything that you wanted to put in? Is there any like some Easter eggs, or just not Easter eggs, but just, I'm a film fan. I'm a writer, creator. Like, the film is made in editing, right? But was there anything that that you could talk on?
Yeah, there was the process of really writing and the editing, especially of the film, though. Like, I think kind of the whole filmmaking process for us was to try to kind of distill this thing down, because it is sort of, you could go and do a whole movie just on the police storyline. You could do a whole movie on the themes that we're touching on, and say a lot more about it and editorialize, or, so we tried to really like distill everything down as much as possible to just like the most elemental things, and then let hopefully audiences approach it thoughtfully and kind of extrapolate out from there. To that point, like there's a storyline between Jake and his next door neighbor, that he is kind of like this girl that he sees online, and she lives next door, and he's sort of like crushing on this girl, and she sort of represents like a normal life in some ways, in his storyline. So we had a scene where they actually meet and have a conversation, and it was in the film, and the performances are great, and but we felt that it took away actually from the isolation of his character. And ultimately felt it was more powerful to not include it. So that was one scene that didn't make it. That was, I think, a great scene. But that's, you have to make so many of these choices when you're making a film, and people could think, well, it's the right choice or the wrong choice. But when you're the director, as I'm learning on this, like, you have to make the choice. And so we made the choice to try to strip everything down and keep it as succinct as possible.
Wow. I feel that that's actually something I would have loved to have seen more it's great to know that that was filmed, but I understand the reasoning why as a filmmaker and bringing it down to where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. Christian, congratulations, man.
Thank
It's now
you.
out there. Can't wait to see what you're going to do next. But bravo on this film. It again, like I said, it hit me on different levels as a filmmaker and then as somebody who worked in this area and with these people.
Wow.
Very interesting for me, sir.
I'm sure that's a whole other conversation. That's crazy.
Yeah. Everybody, that is the amazing Christian Swegal.
Close.
Did I get
You. Yeah.
Christian, thank you for your time, man. Salute to you. Everybody, check out Christian's latest, debut film, and we're going to support him on all the other upcoming projects. Sovereign in theaters, as well as available to own rent on July 11th. I'm KUYA P, Nerds Rule the World. Hopefully, we'll have Christian back, and I'll get his name right the next time. Christian, I'm KUYA P, Nerds Rule the World.
All right. Thanks a lot.
There you go. Thank you.
Nerds rule the world.
Pleasure chatting with you. Love to all my nerds who rule the world.
Nerds rule the world.
Yes, we do.
Thanks. Nerds rule the world. Thank you.
I love the nerds ruling the world, so more power to you.
Patrick, what up, man? And yes, they do. Nerds rule the world, kid.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Awesome. KUYA P, Nerds Rule the World. Hello.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Oh,
Nerds rule the world.
I got.
It's in the title of your show, like Nerds Rule the World. Like, I want more Black weirdos on screen, and I don't feel like we ever get to see that very much.
Thank you so much. Nerds do rule the world.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Nerds rule. Love it.
Hello, Sarah. Hello, Julian.
Nerds rule. Yes.
Rock on. I love it. Thank you so much.
It's good to see you. I love Nerds Rule the World.
But yeah, there's a heavy nerd component, man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you ask me, nerds rule the world. So
Absolutely.
And you're right. Nerds do rule the world.
We're just the best.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Nerds so much.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
It's your boy KUYA P, Nerds Rule the World. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you.
do. They rule the world, all right.
Yes. Take care, Tony. Thank you, guys. Recording. There we are. Awesome. Thank you, Kat. Hello, Christian. Pleasure to talk to you, sir. Thank you for your time. I'm ready to rock and roll if you are.
All right, let's do it. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Definitely. All right. I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1 to help me with my edit because I'm inserting the trailer right in front. So I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1 and we'll get right into the conversation. All right.
Okay.
Here we go.
Great.
And a 1, 2, 3.